Hey, sports fans, it's for Shoe Geeks only. This is Larry Eder at RunBlogRun. We are with Patrick Richie, who is the lead product manager at Nike for track and field. And we are with Natalie Kile. Natalie, am I pronouncing your last name right?
Yes, that's correct.
Okay, Natalie Kile, and she's the PLM for track and field and road running. And we are going to geek out on the track spikes that are going to be offered in Japan over the next few weeks. We're going to talk about some cross country shoes, and we're going to talk about some new intros for November of 2025 in track and field. Hey, Patrick. Hey, Natalie. How are you
Hello,
guys?
Larry.
Hello, how's it going?
We're
Good.
in.
Good.
Let's do
Okay.
it.
So, Patrick, how long have you been in the land of Nike?
Great question, Larry. I was hired right before the 2016 Olympic trials, which means I've
Wow.
been here for 9 years.
Mm.
Yep.
Natalie, and how about you?
Just over 6 years now.
Very cool. So you've been in the track and field wars for a while. That's
Ha. Hey, no, Larry, we worked our way up at Nike here. I started out as a what's called a tech rep. I think a lot of
yep.
people
Eakins?
understand
Yep.
that. Yeah. Natalie and I were both Deacons, but I think Natalie started even at a store
Hmm.
working just seeing.
Wow. Oh, that's
Yeah.
cool. Natalie, do you miss the store stuff?
Yeah, I mean, I loved connecting like with consumers. I had a great team at the store that I worked at and everything. So definitely part of me misses that. And it was a great start, to get me to where I am today. So
Where were you
definitely
at?
thankful for it. I was in Atlanta, Georgia.
Oh, nice. I like Atlanta. I was there at least a month a year for 20 years. So I went to the Super Show and then I would go for various events, And then I lived there for the Olympics in 96. So
Nice, very cool.
keeps it fun. Okay, so we are going to talk about track and field spikes. And what I wanted to show our readers is the special shoes that Nike are offering to their elite athletes for Tokyo. And you guys have got the wall all set up so we can see that. And Patrick and Natalie, as you talk about the shoes, could you pull one down and show them to us too?
Yeah, sure thing.
Sure.
So, Larry, interrupt me whenever you'd like.
Okay.
It
All
would
right.
be quite boring if we didn't do it like that,
Oh,
but
Patrick, don't worry, buddy. I will interrupt you. I'll try to do it thoughtfully, though, not in the middle
well,
of a sentence because,
yes,
that's
yes.
not good.
Okay, we will start with the sprint spikes,
Okay,
then we'll do middle and long distance, then we'll
cool.
do the jumps and the throws. All right?
Yeah, because my throw people, if we don't talk about the throws, I will get letters that are,
Yeah,
not
throwers
credible.
love their spikes. Well, their shoes, their
Yeah,
throwing
they love their
shoes.
shoes, man. They're into
Yeah,
it.
we haven't updated them in a while, so that's to come in the next couple track seasons. But
Okay.
we're gonna start with the creme de la creme for Nike Track and Field, which is the Air Zoom Max Fly 2.
Oh,
Uh,
nice.
Yep. So this shoe actually was first introduced for well, I'll back up for those who aren't aware. Nike Track and Field typically updates our models and our technology of our premier spikes. We call them our pinnacle line
Mhm.
for Olympic years.
Okay.
So if you think about it, it takes about 2 years to make a shoe, and a little longer to make a really innovative shoe. And
Sure.
so, like for these spikes particularly, the first time they were worn by athletes was by a really small amount of our pro athletes, who are like kind of like our gearheads, are like really trusted members
Sure.
of our roster.
Okay.
Um, that will happen in 2022,
All right.
and that shoe will be kind of rough. It's probably delivering some kind of new sensation for an athlete that they're willing to get past sort of the rough edges, if that
Sure.
makes sense.
Okay.
And then in 2023, the shoe is pretty much done, but we're concerned about durability. We're just like trying to get those final bugs out of the shoe. It's usually 99% done, but it's not colored. It'll be
Okay.
all white, or all black, but typically we do them in all white. And then 2024, the Olympic years, when you start to see the color It's like a big marketing moment. We launch the shoes at the games, try to get all of our athletes into it. And
Mhm.
so if you actually have, I'll grab an Olympic. Uh, if you were watching in Tokyo, we had or sorry, in Paris. So that's when you see like the very glitzy,
Yeah,
glamorous, like eye-catching launch colors, Olympic color as it's
sure.
known.
Mhm.
And so this was a safari print in bright orange with a neon volt green accents is kind of like our signature
Can
color.
you
And
talk to me about the outer sole? Um, I
yeah.
see the graphics on it, which I love. Tell us a little bit about what that does there.
Yeah, so for the listeners, I'm showing Larry one of our triple jump shoes from the Olympics.
Okay.
And it has a full length spike plate, the triple jump does. It holds the pins, obviously, but it also has what's called a PVD coating, which makes it almost like a iridescent shimmer. A lot of spikes for a long time, we did like a chrome spray coating, kind of like a chrome paint, which just chipped off.
Yeah.
Now we do like a particle vapor distribution. So the actual sort of glitz and glam of the material is baked right into the high performance P-Bax plastic, so it won't chip off.
Okay.
Uh, so it shimmers as the athletes, especially the athletes that run the turn, 400 hurdles, and the distance runners. As the athlete turns that first turn and you see their back for the first time. I mean, think
Yeah.
about it. You never see a 100-meter runner's back, or the 200 unless you're sitting on the backstretch of the stadium.
Yeah.
But watching on TV, any athlete that's going to turn the corner, we really want that plate to be something that catches your eye and flicks into the air and almost makes a statement.
Yeah.
Uh, and so, yeah, a lot of the plate finishes is like where we spend our time, creativity, and money. And we like to get, as you know, we like to get a big fat swoosh on there as
Oh
well.
yeah, I got to tell you, I've got some great photos like that from Paris. It's
Oh
one of
yeah,
the things
sure.
I have we have about four photographers at all these events. I give one field events. I have a couple that go everywhere. But one of the things we tell them is if there's something unusual about the shoe, get it because our readers will go nuts, you know?
Yes,
And you
yes.
guys really, it's fascinating that you put that much attention into it.
Yeah. Yeah, so for the Max Fly, like I
Yeah.
said, that came out. So this is the Max Fly 2. The
Okay.
Max Fly 1 was the first shoe to have air technology under the foot for Nike Track and Field.
Okay.
And so typically, the only benefit we could provide to athletes for a long time was just lightweight.
Sure.
Then you get like how the lighter the faster. That was pretty much it. But since 2017, when we made our first super shoes, the Vaporfly 4%, we've unlocked this whole new era of running where we also can provide energy return and efficiency to athletes. So obviously very important at the marathon, and those super shoes are very popular. Every brand has theirs. We were the first brand to introduce the Super Spike, and so the Max Fly is our kind of creme de la creme of sprint super spikes because it has this pressurized zoom airbag in the forefoot. And that's the same airbag that we've had in our shoes for forever, a pressurized air zoom. If you run in a Pegasus in the last 50 years, you've felt that air under your foot. We've added it to sprint spikes in combination with a carbon fiber plate that
Okay.
runs the whole length of the shoe. So there's a
It is
lot of
the whole length. Yeah, that was my question. If the
yeah, there's a lot of technology in the shoe. So like if I show you this plate, which is transparent,
yeah,
you can see underneath there's a two-chambered airbag,
yeah.
which fun fact is actually pulled from a Jordan basketball shoe. It was never
Wow.
developed to be a track and field bag. It was it was actually we turned it 90 degrees and it fit into this cavity really well, and
Yeah,
that's in our go-to airbag for track and field. But you can see through. We branded it Air Zoom. There, underneath the plate that holds the spikes is an
yeah.
airbag, and then above the airbag, right underneath your foot, there is a full-length carbon fiber plate. I have one right here. I'll grab it. And that just provides a bunch of stiffness and propulsion for the athlete. The stiffer the shoe, the faster you go. However, if we just made shoes that were as stiff as a board that couldn't be flexed at all, sure, it would be a very effective lever, but your muscles would fatigue, especially the ankle joint would get very, very tired,
Uh-huh.
even over the course of a 60 meter dash, you'd fatigue.
Wow.
So the plate itself is very strong and stiff, but it has a little bit of flex, and it has this scooped shape that allows the runner to move forward. The industry term is a rocker, that rocker shape.
Sure. Yeah.
Some of those really cushioned shoes that your listeners wear will have a really pronounced rocker so that you can just sort of effortlessly move forward to your next step. So that's in the Max Fly as well as
So
this.
here's the question. What are your thoughts, both of you, about um, athletes using uh, plated shoes every day? Is there what's the research saying?
Natalie, do you have a strong opinion? I have a strong opinion.
I mean, I don't want to say strong opinion. I think it depends on the person. I think it's like a really good tool to like utilize, like in your training, like thinking a little bit more of our road running line, like, like a Zoom fly, like throwing it in for like a tempo day or whatever it may be, something like that, since that also
Sure.
has a plate. I personally wouldn't use it every day. I think part of it for me, like if I was training, like it's more of a mentality thing. Everyone's
Yeah.
different. Again, this is me
Yeah.
personally. I like to kind of save it for those like really hard workouts or like, race day feeling. But I think everyone's different. So I don't know. Pat said he has a pretty strong feeling. So I don't know how
Yeah,
you
dude.
feel about it.
Mary, there's been a lot of people are talking about plated shoes, right? It's
Right.
kind of
Yeah. I'm
yeah.
just curious what your thoughts are.
Yeah, well, when our research says, because of all the things I just said about the effortless motion forward, the propulsion up and down, basically, you can think of super shoes in two ways. Like this Maxfly Spike is a good example. Our marathon shoes operate the same way.
Mhm.
The airbag or the ZoomX foam, the super foam, think of that as up and down. That's the bounce that you get when you wear the shoes, which is very important in running. The
Sure.
plate is what moves you forward.
Okay.
Okay. So running, you go up and down and you move forward. Both are important. Um, you do both of those things easier in a super shoe. Therefore, all of our research says that it reduces injury. You're less likely to get hurt if you wear a super shoe. You're just doing less work. Does that contribute to atrophy? I don't think so. We don't have a lot of research that says that it does. I think a lot of
Okay.
coaches think it does. I would trust some of the coaches I've talked to who are trying to balance super shoes and regular shoes. Cole Hawker and Cooper Tier are really interested in the balance between the shoe they love the most, which is the structure,
Yeah.
um, and wearing that a lot versus when do they put the super shoes on versus when do they go to spikes.
Yeah.
Um, but one of the things a little thought starter for your audience, I would say, since super shoes have been available to athletes, they've been using them to run farther, faster in training and accumulate more hard miles.
Yeah.
Double T is a double threshold work is a very popular thing. If there is an increase in injury, which there shouldn't be,
Yeah.
the times are going down. Runners are better now than they used to be. If there was a serious injury issue, we would see the opposite. We would see times getting slower.
Yeah.
Um, and so I guess all I'm trying to say is none of our research says that it's all that bad for you, but we've got all these athletes running twice as much as they used to. That could contribute to a lot of injury and burnout, I think.
No, I agree with you. What I tell my athletes and former athletes is um, easy days and long days, more traditional shoe like the Air Structure, right? Um, and for sprinters, obviously, they're going to be in spikes every day. Um, I also suggest when they're doing their lifting and stuff like that, being something that's a little more relaxed. But I think that the one of the things that I'm noticing, and I've talked to podiatrists and chiropractors a lot about plated shoes. The one caution that they agree on is under the age of 18, race days, and perhaps a hard day. For people a little older, use what works for you. But I think the variety of things for the foot keeps just good foot health. So it makes, makes a lot of sense what you guys are saying. So thank you.
Yeah. All right. So lastly, on the Max Fly,
Yeah.
Max Fly 2 specifically,
Two.
the Max Fly 1 had the airbag and the carbon plate, and everybody loved it. It's, sick shoe. The shoe is taller than a typical sprint spike.
Right.
This airbag is like 10 millimeters. You got a couple millimeters for the plate, and then the plate above the two plates.
Hmm.
We're looking at something like 17 mm, which is much more than what you would have had when before super spikes.
Sure.
Some athletes would almost sort of pronate a little further forward than you would expect around the first med head. That first metatarsal head would kind of fall inward, especially on the turn, um, and the upper would sort of touch the ground. It was just a little less stable for some athletes, maybe that weren't used to that or as strong. So we added a feature in the Max Fly 2. There's this sort of ridge, almost like a rising. It acts like an old school medial post, but it makes this part of the plate much stiffer, and it's raised a little bit and it makes the whole thing flatter.
Okay.
You get better surface area. A snowshoe's more stable than a high heel. We just have a flatter surface for
Sure.
athletes to push off of,
Okay.
and it's been really really well received. I think any um, kids or coaches that wore the Max Fly 1 and thought it was like a little squirrely.
Mhm.
I think we solved that for the Max Fly 2, and I think people are gonna love it.
Who's an athlete we'll see that on?
Everybody, Larry,
Okay.
everybody wears this. All of our pros wear
Ah,
it. Um, I'm glad you asked. That's one of the main things that Natalie and I work with athletes on is
sure.
adopting our latest technology because we don't like to make old shoes.
Yeah.
Once we're done with the Max Fly, and we're on to the Max Fly 2, we destroy the molds for the old tooling. We get rid of the materials. It's kind of a pain in the butt to keep making the old shoe.
Yeah.
So we would like for everybody to be in the latest stuff
Good.
as long as it works. We'll
Okay.
do anything for athletes, but.
Now, will that shoe last the whole season for
Oh yeah, I
for the
think the
sprinter?
shoe, based on the athletes that I've seen wearing the Max Fly 1
Yeah.
still in 2025, and we haven't made that shoe in 2 years, it'll
Wow.
last you at least 2 years.
That's great.
Um,
No, that's really good to know. Yeah.
yeah, the durability with the Max Fly 2 is much better as far as the airbag goes. There were some issues with kids popping the airbag under their foot.
Uh-huh.
And it was the result of there was a little groove in the plate that the factory used to place the bag in the right spot, but it ended up putting a little pressure onto the bag and popping it. And we removed that, and we've seen a lot better durability
Cool.
for Max Fly 2. But yeah, it should last at least a season, and then I would move it into my practice spike the next season.
Yeah, that makes
Um,
sense.
yeah, but as far as athletes that wear this, everybody wears it. Sha'Carri wears it. All of Dennis Mitchell's athletes, Melissa Jefferson, who's
That-
one of the favorites in the 100.
oh yeah, she's looking great.
Yes, the Sha'Carri obviously defending world champ. The men, I mean, Kenny Bednarik, Let's see, Late Tobogo, world's fastest Catholic. He wears the Max Fly too. Do
I'm
you
going to
see that
use that.
picture?
Thank you, and I will attribute it to you. That's
Did
very
you
good
see that
because
picture of him with the Pope?
no,
The
oh, I did. Well,
Pope?
I've got a guy. There is a website called Running While Catholic, and they follow all my stuff because they found out I studied to be a Jesuit priest, and they
Yeah,
just love to give me trouble. So it's just,
yeah. Well, I went to Gonzaga. I'm
oh,
a
yeah, very
Jesuit.
fine school. It was Pat Tyson, your coach?
Oh yeah, big time.
Okay,
Yeah,
yeah, yeah. And I ran against Gonzaga when I was at Santa Clara. You know,
yep,
they were, it was Portland, Gonzaga, and Santa Clara, and Loyola. Uh,
yep.
actually, it started out with Nevada Reno. We got to run against Nevada Reno back in '76. That was an
They're
interesting.
Catholic.
Well, no, they're not Catholic, but somehow they got. Oh, it's because of football back then.
I know.
Because the WCAC had, and they started the races at Las Vegas and Nevada Reno with the cannon from an M60 tank, which was
Wow.
a little disconcerting when
Yeah,
you're lining up and you hear a
your
boom.
heart rate up on the
It, it,
start
it
line.
got it up a little bit. Yes, it did.
Other athletes, one interesting one. We'll talk about this next. Maybe the Victory 2 is a middle distance spike.
Okay.
And it's great for the 800 meters, but there are still athletes that wear the Max Fly 2 for the 800.
Makes
Um,
sense.
yeah, Georgie Bell.
Oh yeah.
She likes to wear the Max Fly for the 8, and so yeah, all I'm saying is yeah, we've got 100-meter athletes, super quick out of the blocks like Melissa Jefferson. We also have people stretching it all the way up to the 800 like Georgia Bell.
When you talk about your sprint shoe, are you talking for the 100 and just 200 or the 100 to the 400?
All of our sprint spikes, which I'll show you our other two, our
Yeah.
other pinnacle level sprint spikes. One is called the Superfly, which has been in our line forever.
Oh yeah. Oh, I
Has
like
a
that look. Yeah.
It's a really simple shoe. It's just a fly knit upper, which is kind of like a sock-like fit. It's got a 360. It literally is constructed like a sock.
Hmm.
So it just sucks right onto your foot, and then there's
Wow.
no advanced technology under the foot as far as cushioning. You're just right down on the track. This is just a peep super stiff
Yeah.
peep out plate. This was developed by a guy named Brian Deal for the
Okay.
2016 games, and the main athlete that helped us with this is Shelly Ann Fraser Price.
Yes.
This was
One of
kind
my
of her.
favorite interviews. Shelly Ann's pretty cool.
Yeah, she's the best. Yeah, we got a big framed Shelly poster right here, signed. But this was kind of Shelly's shoe, uh,
Wow.
and we still have it in the line. Natalie and I are actually working on the update for this shoe for the year 2027.
Very
Uh,
cool.
but this would be another option for athletes who maybe just want a really simple spike.
Yeah. Yeah.
No airbags, no carbon plates, just like old school with
Yep.
with modern technology would be the Superfly, and
Right.
that's built for 100 up to 400. And then
Okay.
the last one, this may be most appropriate for your high school listeners, is a shoe called the Jaw Fly.
Okay.
Um, and it's almost like the Superfly's little brother. It should be about $40 or $50 less than the Superfly. Uh,
Okay.
it does not have a fly knit upper. It has a mesh traditional tongue,
Cool.
classic. It's right around $100.
That's a good price. Yeah.
Yep, and it's a great spike. This is actually, I mean, it's worn by our top athletes. A Canadian guy named Aaron Brown.
Yeah. I know.
Uh,
I got to interview Aaron. Yeah.
yeah, Aaron's awesome. We're trying to get Aaron to come over here and help us make some shoes. He really knows his stuff.
He
Um,
really does. He's a real student of the sport. I mean, the whole Canadian relay kids, one of their secrets, I think, is their knowledge of the sport, but also their the ability for them to train together a lot. And that's their secret sauce.
Yes. Yeah, so Aaron wears the jaw fly if he's dude, he's so dialed in. If he gets a inside lane draw for the 200,
Uh-huh.
he'll wear a different shoe than if he has a lane draw in lanes 4, 5, 6, 7, or 8.
That makes a ton of sense. Yeah,
Yeah.
especially with yeah, it's and there's that's really cool. I like that.
Yep. So that would be these. So these are our three. I'll put them back on the wall so you can see them all at
Thank
once.
you.
But
Yeah.
these are our three spikes. The most expensive, most high tech would be the Max Fly, and then a simple shoe with some really beautiful details would be the Superfly, and then finally, just our workhorse, simple, great spike would be the Jaw Fly. Those are our
Patrick, give me
three.
the price points on those three again, just so for our readers.
Larry, it depends on where you live, what
Okay.
country you're in.
Let's say
But
North America.
yeah, I
US,
globally, yeah, the Max Fly is roughly $200, somewhere between 180 and 200.
depending on
Um,
tariffs. Yeah. Okay.
depending on yeah what's going on politically. The Superfly is about 150,
Okay.
and then the Jawfly is about $100.
Okay. Makes
Uh,
sense. Cool. Yeah.
yeah, so they're expensive, but they're great spikes and they'll last you a really long time.
Yeah. No, if they can last a season or two. And I like the idea, Patrick, of talking about the shoes you used last year, use it for your training this year, and then take care of your new spike. So,
Yeah.
it makes a lot of sense.
Yep. All right. We're gonna quickly move on to the rest of our track spike
Thank you.
lineup.
Yes. I'll try
Yeah.
to keep it under control.
Natalie's gonna talk to you about the Air Zoom X Fly Knit Victory 2. How about
Wow,
that?
that's going to be a tongue tire. Yeah.
Yeah.
Sweet. Yeah. So I'll just shorten it for the Victory 2.
Cool.
For one of our middle distance spikes, it's really great, like looking around 800 to the 5K.
Okay.
On the upper, similar to our Superfly, we have an Atom Knit fly knit upper, super lightweight. It also has some like cables, which you can kind of see, like
Yep.
to have a little bit more like reinforcement, a little bit more containment within your foot so that you really stay locked in. And then we also have a full length carbon fiber plate in this as well, similar to the Maxfly and also
Okay.
similar to the Maxfly. We have that dual chamber airbag as well for like a really,
Wow. That's nice.
yeah. And then foam, we have Zoom X foam, again, like kind of our premier best foam that we have on the market right now. So it's going to be definitely probably our more, I would say, aggressive distance, middle distance spike that we have because of the combination of the plate and the air unit in the forefoot.
Sure.
And also similar to the Maxfly, we did kind of add a little bit more of um, a medial. Sorry, losing my train of thought. We did add a little bit more kind of extra plastic in the plate to help with that medial on the turn. So.
Talk about stability with the airbag a little bit. I'm curious because um, the shoes that I remember when the Tailwind came out, I was doing 140 miles a week in that one, and then racing in the Air Mariah, it changed my life. I mean, I ran my PBs from 5K to hour run in that shoe, and it was like being, on a cloud. Um,
Mhm.
um, it's much more fine tuned now, correct? The Zoom Air.
hmm do you want to talk a little bit more about
The
the
differences in
yeah, yeah,
air, go
yeah.
for it.
Do you want, I was gonna say, do you want to or do you want me?
Zoom versus to
Just
film. Yeah.
Zoom versus just like our
Sure,
regular
yeah, I'm
PB.
curious.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think like the biggest difference between the two is that with our Zoom Air, we have like these little fibers in here that really kind of like work
Okay,
with the air unit. So they're gonna compress it down and then also like kind of like work with you and kind of give you a little bit more, I guess, like energy return back into it. Is the way those fibers work. Whereas kind of with regular air, you're not gonna have the additional workings of those fibers. So it's just gonna be all air and it's all gonna kind of like move around depending on kind of like how your foot works, like with a sportswear shoe
okay.
if that makes sense.
No, I like the 800 to
We've advanced
5,000.
far past the airbags you were wearing in
Oh yes, oh yeah. Actually,
1975.
I have my original pair of Air Mariahs uh,
Sick.
from 1980, and then John Lodwick, after he ran his 211, gave me his shoes, and I still have those too. That was when he's running for A-Dub, and yeah, I've got uh, a air controlled unit in my garage. It drives my girlfriend crazy with some of my older shoes.
Preserve the shoe.
Yeah, well, because EVA breaks down. Like some of the 70 shoes, EVA is just literally falling apart. But I've got like a pair of pre-Montreals that I used to run from the mile to the 10 in. And then I've got
Our Steve right here.
oh yeah, yep. I
Almost
missed seeing him. I was supposed to go see him and John Nino in 75 at the San Francisco indoor games, but I had a babysit and gave my mother trouble about that for years. But I did enough stuff to drive her crazy, so I can deal with that. But no, so that's the high end middle distance shoe. Is that correct?
yes,
Okay.
yes.
Okay.
It is, and it's a really good, I think, for any high school kid running the distances. We built it for the 800 up to 5K, but 800 to 2 mile is kind of like the sweet spot.
Yeah.
So this would be a really good shoe for any high school kid. It allows you to run a little bit quicker just because, like Nat said, it's got some of the same technology as the Max Fly, but mellowed out and lighter weight to get you a lot further. As far as and also I would say this is priced at about 180, the same as the Max Fly.
Okay. Cool. Okay.
So it is a pinnacle level spike. This is the biggest contributors to the development of this spike were probably Keely Hodgkinson is a big fan of this spike. She was
Okay.
if basically if you're a Nike athlete and you don't like the current spike,
Yeah.
you get to become the muse for the next version. So
I like that.
yeah, she struggled in the Victory One, the Air Victory One,
Okay.
and it was she just didn't love it, and so a lot of her feedback is what got baked into this shoe to make it really, really special. Cole Hawker is a big Victory guy.
Cool.
He's helped us a lot with stuff. Um, so yeah.
Kids are asking me what Cooper Lutkenhouse wears.
Oh, hey, that's the next shoe on the list.
Cool.
For you.
Thanks,
Uh,
Natalie.
Yeah.
Okay, so finally, to round out our track offering at the pinnacle level, of course, we have some more price point appropriate,
Sure.
we call the Rival Series. We'll get into that maybe some other time.
Yep.
What we have for the distances is a very iconic spike at this point called the Dragonfly.
Okay.
So in 2020 and 2021, that's the first distance super shoe. Um, Dragonfly won. Zoom X Dragonfly came in a million colors, and high school kids still are wearing them. They're very, very popular. Go to a high school meet in North America,
Oh yeah.
you will see tons of kids wearing the Nike Dragonfly. It was almost a standard issue product. And so now we're on to the two, where we made some really good improvements. And we actually added an additional version of the Dragonfly. So first off, the Dragonfly 2 is very similar to the Dragonfly 1. It's almost 20 millimeters of Zoom X foam, which is the foam from the Vaporfly. That's the marathon foam. It's insanely bouncy and cushioned, lightweight, gives great energy return. It basically maxes out every metric we have for foam performance.
Okay.
And so that you get a big chunk of that. It's designed to have a little bit of support under the arch for the long distances, like the 10,000. And then the plate is made out of an injected P-Bax material. It's plastic, similar to most plates. It has 4 pins, which is exactly the amount that you need. Any additional pins in a distance shoe are probably not doing anything. So we reduce a little bit of weight there. But this injected plate actually runs the full length of the shoe. So it follows this sort of paint line and goes all the way up and becomes a very, very rigid shoe. But like I said before, it's got that beautiful 4 foot sort of rocker motion. So although the shoe's really stiff to give you good energy return, great propulsion, it's got a nice gentle shape. So it's almost, you get this effortless, you don't really feel the rigidity of the shoe.
Yeah.
And then, of course, complete with the Matumbo hole in the back, which has become kind of signature for Nike distance spikes.
Talk to
Uh,
me about that. Why?
oh, gladly. Yes, no problem. Are you familiar with a shoe developer named John Truax?
Oh yes, I know
Yeah,
John. John's meats and all that stuff too.
yeah,
Yes.
Johnny's track meet.
Right.
Yes. Well, Johnny was a loyal Nike employee for a very long time, and he made the track spikes in the 2004 to 2008 era.
Yes.
Yeah, and so they were working on a shoe for Osaka 2007. You must have been there,
Yes, I
right?
was. Yep.
Bernard Lagat's the best runner in the world. We got
Yes.
Matt Tegenkamp, fourth place in the 5K, right?
From
Uh,
Wisconsin. Go Badgers. Yes.
yep, Kara Goucher's, the peak Kara Goucher.
Yes.
Uh, and they had to, like I said, the year before in Olympics, our shoes are being tested by athletes and they're all white, right?
Yep.
So he's testing a shoe that doesn't have a name yet, in all white, and he wins the 1500. In the schedule, I think the 15 was first.
Yes.
Uh, he beat a young Aspel Kiprop who was in first with 200 to go. But I'm getting sidetracked. He
Well,
beat
it's a good story too, though.
Rashid Ramsey. He was sick. So
Yeah.
he wins the 1500 and then he comes back for the 5K a couple days later. And he's got these prototype shoes all white and he's got something written on the side. And of course he wins the 5K as well. And Johnny Truax goes to Kip, Bernard Lagat, and says, "Dude, what that was awesome. What'd you write on the side of your shoe there?" And he said, "I wrote Matumbo." And Matumbo is the lowest part of the goat intestine, the goat's butthole.
Oh
Uh,
wow. Oh
and
great.
yes, it's Swahili, Matumbo.
Okay. Oh, my
And
readers are going to love this. You have just
yes,
made a viral moment. I'm going to take this
yes,
and pull this out of the whole broadcast because
yes. This
this is
is
what the knuckleheads will love.
this
Okay.
is my favorite Nike track and field story. This might be my favorite story ever.
This is
Uh,
a good one. And Patrick, you're very good at this. I'm going to respect you now. Yeah.
Thanks, Larry. No, but so he wrote Matumbo on the side of the shoe,
Yeah.
and he explained to Johnny that it's Swahili for it's almost like a synonym for victory. When you slaughter a goat in celebration, the
Yes.
thing that you eat almost ceremoniously is the Matumbo.
Okay.
It's like the cherry on top. And so Kip was saying, "Hey, man, I won the 15. That's what I came here to do. This 5K was just like this is the Matumbo, man."
Humbug. Yeah.
And then he took his shoe and he said, and also, you guys added this hole in the back of the shoe that just looks exactly like the Matumbo. And so the hole was originally there to help with the fit of the shoe. It reduces weight. There's less friction when you remove the back of the shoe like that. It can drain water for the steeplechase.
Oh,
But
nice. Yeah.
really, all the,
It's the Matumbo, man.
the Matumbo hole. And so there's a machine at the factory that's called the Matumbo hole machine.
Wow.
Yeah.
This is
So
going to be the clip. I'm just
that is-
want you both to know that you have made my day because
yeah, John
it's a story
Truax.
I did not know what Bernard Lagat. I mean, one of my favorites with Bernard, I got to see him at the U.S. Champs with his son. And I reminded him that he told me that when I asked him, how long did you wait to kick? And he goes, well, I try to wait till the last 50. And I
Yeah,
go, why? He goes, because no one can respond. And
yeah, true.
it was, I mean, I've watched him do it so many times, and
Yes,
yeah, we got to travel a lot together, especially in Germany and in Europe for various meets. So I love
yes.
the guy. Good guy.
Yeah, that was his base, right? Germany.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. He raced a lot in some of the small meets to get himself fit, and he just loved. And it's a great place. I've spent a lot of time there, and it's pretty mellow.
Yeah. Yeah. So that's the Matumbo hole,
Thank you.
coined by Bernard himself.
Okay.
So that's present in all the distance shoes, the Victory, the Dragonfly, and then this is the new shoe that everybody's been asking about, everybody's curious about. This is called the Dragonfly Elite.
Okay.
So we took the Dragonfly, which was so successful, and we just cranked it up a little bit.
Yeah.
With some of the elements that we know make a shoe faster, and injected them into the Dragonfly. And so really, it's all under the foot where you're going to see the improvements.
Okay.
There's a little bit more of that Zoom X super foam that I was talking about,
Sure.
our highest performing foam. So you get a little bit more benefit there. The second feature is going to be this exposed
Ooh.
carbon fiber plate. Uh,
Okay.
so the plastic plate that runs through the Dragonfly that gives it its rigidity is
Yeah.
replaced by a carbon fiber plate that's just razor thin, super strong. It just makes the shoe faster. There's
Okay.
just no metric that isn't better with the carbon plate versus the plastic. And then the pins, in order to maximize the amount of foam we can get in there, we took the receptacles out, the receiving end of
Sure.
the replaceable pins, and we just slapped some titanium steel pins on there. So
Ooh.
uh, the titanium won't go dull.
Okay.
So it's not aluminum. The spikes that kids wear that's aluminum. That's going to go dull after a couple of races. You got to replace them.
Yeah.
These titanium, they never go dull. They're super strong.
Wow.
So they're lighter and stronger.
Cool.
Uh, and those are the sort of biggest differences between our two iconic distance spikes, the Dragonfly and the Dragonfly Elite.
With the Elite, would you recommend that for the 10,000?
Yes, yeah. This shoe is a kind of 5K, 10K at the global level.
Cool.
It's a great shoe for high schoolers, like kind
Yeah.
of saying 800 up to 2 mile, even 5K in cross country. When you're on the golf course, this is a really, really great shoe. You'll see a lot of NCAA athletes wearing this.
Cool.
Um, that is that. The one caveat with Dragonfly hasn't been a big deal, the Dragonfly Elite, but we we made it for the track, you
Sure.
know.
Yeah.
And you're never going to run on gravel on the track. But in
Yes.
cross country, you might run on gravel sometimes. That has the potential to crack this exposed plate. I don't
Okay.
see it a lot. We were really worried about it when we first commercialized the shoe.
Sure.
Uh, and we told all these equipment managers and things at the NCAA, like, hey, just do the plastic one. It won't crack. It can handle gravel. And I see tons of people where the Dragonfly Elite in cross country hasn't been an issue, but that is one thing to look out for. I wouldn't go running on pea gravel with the shoe a ton.
Okay. Final question on the middle distance shoes. Price
Yeah,
point one more time.
yeah, sure. I'll put them back on the wall here.
Thank you.
You might be sensing a formula.
Yeah.
Our pinnacle level spikes are priced at 180. So
Okay.
Dragonfly Elite is the same price as the Victory 2 and the Max Fly 2, $180.
Okay.
And you get a little bit of a discount by going down to the Dragonfly 2 is 150. The same with the Superfly. So like
Cool.
that kind of one step down, you go from 180 to 150. Does that make
Okay.
sense? Yeah.
Makes sense.
Yeah, dude.
You're quite articulate coming from Gonzaga. I'm quite impressed.
Oh yes, yes. Huh?
I have to, and Minnesota. I mean, you are,
Yes.
a Midwest friend, so we've got to be nice.
Yeah. Hey, let's talk throw shoes. Let's go
Yes,
straight to
please,
the
please.
throws. I insist because as you say, distance runners and throwers are like the same person. They're just in a different size.
I used to room them together in JC and in college because they got along. They drank beer, they ate, they worked out. So it's pretty simple.
Probably similar amounts too, right?
Oh my God, yeah, yeah. We
Yeah.
could out eat the throw guys. I sat down. Well, I watched who is it? Reese Hoffa eat an entire chicken and a 20-ounce steak, and then tell me he was hungry. Where's the barbecue? I am not joking. And I
Dude,
was. I just told him I was impressed.
Reese Hoffa, that iconic image of him laying in the thrower circle in Osaka eating like a turkey leg or something.
Yes, yes,
Yeah,
he did that for Tyson, and I hope he made a few bucks off it because it has been sent everywhere.
I love that photo. Okay, real quick.
Yeah.
This, if I can lift it up here, this
Yes.
this is the Jav boot.
Nice.
Emphasis on boot.
Yes.
Yeah. So actually, this was developed by a guy named Jonathan Riley.
I know John. Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah. I remember John when he was running. He
Yeah.
was
So
in high school. Yeah. Yeah.
Jonathan's probably right outside the room here. He's the sort of like lead developer, principal. He's a very important developer for track and field. He kind of runs the
Cool.
show around here.
He's a good guy.
Yeah, he's the best. And so he likes to tell the story that this was developed as a cricket shoe for
Wow. That makes
yeah,
sense. Okay, cool. Yeah.
for India, the India
Yep.
market.
Yep.
And then it was just tweaked slightly to become a Jav boot. And it is exactly what you'd think. This is a reinforced toe.
Yep.
And it's a bit of a tank, but that's exactly what Jav throwers are asking for. As far as midfoot stability, one strap wouldn't do the trick. We got freaking two on there.
No, it rocks.
Yep.
Yeah, it's all about the stability. I coached javelin for a while, and that's the kind of shoe because I'd be worried about the kids' ankles, and
Yeah.
also when they have to stop. That's that
Yep.
whole stopping process. And if you can't do that in a running shoe.
Yeah, absolutely. I would even say, Jav boots for a long time, they were built kind of like almost like a boxing shoe
Yeah,
or even like a Converse weapon high, like a Larry Bird high top where it was
sure.
flat across the
Yeah.
top. And so we've actually reduced the Achilles side of the high top to be much lower. Can you see that how that kind of cranes down?
Oh yeah.
And so you know how it is when their foot is fully extended, that Achilles is going to press back on the back of the shoe. You don't want a huge combat boot closing off that angle. So you get the support in the front around the ankle, but then you're free to have that Achilles sort of your legs are almost going to follow this design line here and extend out. So that's one little trick about the Jav boot, and then of course you've got the most pins you've ever seen on a shoe ever.
Oh
Uh,
yes. Oh
yep,
yes.
and a
And what
big
does that
swoop.
retail for?
Great question. 100 and we'll have to get back to you on that.
Yeah.
Okay, we'll
This,
pull it
I,
up.
I must admit, the Jav boot here is most often, we mostly construct this for the NCAA teams that we have contracted. Does
Sure.
that make sense? Because if you have a Nike contract as an NCAA track team, we make the full line for you.
Yeah.
I have not had a conversation about retailing the Jav boot in quite a while. Oh, I mean, you can purchase it for retail.
Sure.
Uh,
All
Mostly
the
it's just
German kids wear that shoe because I
yeah.
know. I mean, I know all the German coaches, and I hung out in Doha with the throwers, so they're always fun to chat with.
Okay, let's step off the Jav runway and
Okay.
into the ring, of course.
Yes,
Yeah.
please.
Okay, so this is our pinnacle throwing shoe for the ring disciplines. This is called the rotational.
Yep.
We've had the same shoe for quite a while. We are working on a new rotational for track season 27. Should be available around Christmas 2026.
Cool.
We're developing mostly the rotational we build for hammer throwers.
Yep.
The first they're our first lens.
Yeah.
Um, and so we're working with Deanna Price,
Rudy.
number of other, yep, Rudy Winkler, number of hammer throwers. And the thing that's specific to the hammer with this shoe, first, they start on their heel.
Yeah.
They spend a lot of time back in the heel. So we have this external heel counter, which is really just a plastic clip that holds your entire rear of your foot, the subtalar joint, kind of stabilizes that whole thing. And then in the forefoot, we have this glossy outsole, which allows you to slide really, really effectively in the ring. But underneath your forefoot, there is a disc-shaped plate,
Okay.
just like in the plated, embedded inside here is an injected plate. It looks almost like an egg. Uh,
Okay.
and it allows the athletes, once they do transition from the heel to the toe, the shoe becomes more like a sprint spike where it has this aggressive shape moving forward. And so it's a little bit combination of both heel technology and forefoot for the hammer throwers. Also appropriate for shot and disc, but developed specifically for the needs of a hammer thrower.
Very cool.
$100.
Wow.
Yeah, dude.
Wow. That's
Yeah.
impressive. That's
Yes.
impressive. I like that shoe. And what do you call that shoe?
This is called the rotational.
Okay.
I believe, is the sixth version of the rotating. I think this is the rotational six.
Okay.
And we'll have a rotational seven holiday season 2026.
Okay.
Okay, so that's the rotational. And then this is a shoe that looks very similar, but it has some key differences. This is called the SD, stands for shot and disc.
Yes.
And so in the SD, we've simply removed that external plastic heel counter because we have such a less of an emphasis on the heel in the shot and the disc. You've got a really, really similar upper, just knowing that the fit is going to be the same for these athletes. And then underneath the foot, we have a mixture of smooth and textured rubber for traction and gliding.
It is for the glide kids, yeah, because I see a lot of the German kids using that and a couple of the German girls. Yeah.
Yep. So you can see there's a little bit of textured rubber, which is going to give you a little bit of a better grip, more control. The throwers would call it'll slow you down. It's
Yeah.
a slower shoe. But then on the outside, as you kind of in areas that you would want to almost get off quicker, that's faster. That's a faster portion of the shoe. So
Cool.
there's also the same egg-shaped plastic plate is underneath the forefoot because these guys are really there's a lot of sprint mechanics in throwing the shot and disc. So that same plate is in the SD embedded in. You can't see it.
Yeah.
It is there. You can feel it. And we are working on this has been a shoe in our line for a long time. Ryan Krauser loves this shoe. Joe Kovacs throws in this shoe, and they are helping us develop the next SD,
Cool.
which will be holiday 26.
Yeah, throws are all about the speed.
Yep.
Anybody who thinks that every event in track and field does not have a speed component is smoking the crack pipe. So,
Yes, correct. Those are our throw shoes. I think
can you show me a pole vault and a high jump shoe real quick or a jump shoe? Do you have those?
you want to do the verticals?
Oh my God, yes. Gotta love. So I have this whole dream of doing a video on high jumpers, and I want to use a song by Jim Carroll. You need to look it up. It's called Wicked Gravity, and it's off my favorite album, Catholic Boy. I am not making it up. It's from 1978. Find it on YouTube, play it. You guys will be playing it while you're designing throw shoes the rest of your life.
Okay.
It's a life-changing song.
No problem. Okay, so for the PV,
Yes.
this is another shoe that was developed in the 2016 era by one Brian Deal.
Oh, nice.
and the PV is all about containment. It's all about kind of 360. It's one of the only events you're going to turn upside down completely. So it's all about kind of looking at locking down the foot in multiple different directions. So inside of the shoe, you have a full 360 kind of sock-like fit.
Okay.
That's similar to the Superfly sprint shoe because we are hitting the runway at really, really high speeds. I think
Yeah.
we all saw Mondo run that 100 last track season. Mondo
Yes.
Duplantis.
Gibbs Karsten.
These
That
guys
was
are
fun.
pretty fast. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. So that's going to be a fit that's going to give you sort of a sprint-like fit. And then, like I said, similar to the Jav or yeah, the Jav boot, we have two straps on here, but these ones are multiple directions. So you got one kind of
Nice.
cross the midfoot, classic strap,
Yeah.
and then unique to the pole vault, there's a strap that runs across the back of the foot to secure
Okay.
multi-directional.
Yeah.
And just like the rotational, there's a plastic sort of heel cup, external heel counter is the technical term, and that's meant to lock in the foot for the sort of the death-defying jump that you're about to do.
That's the
On
shoe that Sam Kendricks uses, right? Back.
Sam Kendricks wears this shoe. He sometimes will mess around wearing a long jump spike as well.
Okay. That's interesting. Well, I'll have to ask him about that in Tokyo. That'll be fun.
Yep. Some pole vaulters will, that's pretty popular, is to use a long jump spike in the pole vault if you oftentimes, pole vault shoes can be maybe a little too emphasize. They emphasize the vault a little too much for certain athletes who rely on their speed.
Yeah. Yeah.
So any speed-based vaulter might be more comfortable in a long jump shoe than a pole vault shoe.
Okay.
But this pole vault shoe does have a nice sprint plate. Underneath the foot, it is shaped like a sprint spike.
Cool.
For specifically that purpose, the runway. But yeah, that's the PV.
Cool. Then
Interesting note, it's our only spike that has reflectivity. There's a reflective
wow.
pattern built into the whole thing.
Oh, neat.
So when you got your camera out there, Larry, keep the flash on, dude.
I will keep the flash on. That'll keep it fun. Wow.
Yes.
So
What else we got?
you got a high
Nat,
jump, a triple jump shoe?
want to do high jump?
Yeah.
Okay, here you go.
And
So
thank you for, I know this is going long. I'm going to try to get it done in the next 10 minutes. So
Okay,
sweet.
deal.
All
control my
good.
chat. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, so for the high jump elite,
Okay.
we have a nice, soft, comfortable upper, and then we have some like extra synthetic overlays on there for a little bit extra durability. And then we have the strap, like we do with a lot of our field shoes, that's going to breathe, allow you to, give you a little bit extra support on the go if you need to make quick adjustments. Then you have a little bit of a foam just to, help provide a little bit of cushion and comfort. And then on the bottom, we do have, as you can see, a very like full length plate,
Oh, yeah.
lots of spikes, going to give you all that traction that you need through every step as you're coming up to make that jump, and then really give you the extra kind of propulsion that you need to make that jump quickly.
And that's like what Vashti's wearing? Vashti
Uh,
comes in?
yes,
Okay, cool.
correct. Yeah, so
Thank you.
really great, and yeah, really all about that traction.
Okay, cool. And
And
you've
then
got a long jump, triple jump shoe, and then we'll get into the color
Hey,
stuff.
you want to talk horizontals?
Yes. Can you?
Okay, I need this platform, Larry, to make an announcement.
Okay.
The Triple Jump Elite 2, which
Two.
has been in the market
Yeah.
for many years,
Yeah.
is not compliant with World Athletics rules.
Oh my gosh. Okay.
Too thick. It is over 20 millimeters thick. It
Okay.
is not compliant. Um, if you have had that shoe came out, I think in 2020.
Yeah.
So there are still plenty of them sitting in equipment rooms across the world.
Yeah.
Great practice spikes. But as the high school kids, do whatever you want. World Athletics does not govern you. You can wear space boots to compete in, but the NCAA and any World Athletics sanctioned meets
Sure.
require you to wear a shoe that is less than 20 millimeters thick. I introduced to you the Triple Jump Elite 3.
Whoa. Cool. We are honored.
World,
Thank you.
World Athletics compliant shoe right here in my hands.
Well, you'll make Sebco very happy. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, true. So yeah, the triple jump three has a full length carbon fiber plate. You can see we stretched
Yeah.
it all the way to the sidewall of the midsole, so you can see it.
Yeah.
That gives you that nice propulsion. We've got a full synthetic leather upper with perforations in the heel for breathability, but you want that durability across the top of the shoe, the vamp we call it.
Mhm.
Oh,
Nice.
excuse me. Must be some dirt from the triple jump pit in this thing. It
I think so. Well, you guys are really
sinuses.
on the
Uh,
field. That's impressive. Yeah.
yeah, and then under the foot, this is the shoe I showed you earlier. Has a
Yeah.
full
I
length,
like that.
yeah, full length plate, gives you great rigidity, um, and obviously just holds the pins. But one of the interesting things about the horizontals
Mhm.
is that underneath the heel, maybe behind this shark skin area,
Yeah.
there's a little puck of what we call dampening foam.
Okay.
And that just allows athletes to get from their heel onto their forefoot a little bit quicker. Um, and that just makes them more efficient jumpers. So I'm going to grab here. I'll transition. This is the long jump, the LJ,
Okay.
long jump elite. Now this one has a 4 foot airbag. It's much thinner than the airbag that you see in the rest of the track line
Mhm.
because of the sort of safety concerns of launching off that wood plate. You want to feel where you're at on the ground. And
Sure.
so the thickness of the Air Zoom bag is a little bit thinner, but it is a full kind of egg-shaped Air Zoom bag in the forefoot that gives you the same sort of sprint speed on the runway that you get with the Max Fly. Got a
Okay.
carbon fiber plate that runs the whole way. And then, like I said, it's almost pretty hard to see, but underneath this
That
swoosh,
swoosh.
there's a little discoloration. That's my disc of dampening foam. Yeah, almost impossible to see. But
Wow, you are so thoughtful. I mean, the attention to detail, Pat, it's got to be your time at Gonzaga. I really think that
yeah,
really,
I did a lot of long jumping at Gonzaga in
I,
between the steeplechase and the 10,000 meters.
there you go, my friend.
Okay, really quick.
Yes.
Um, Starting in October 1st, which is
Okay.
the Q4, we call
Yep.
that the holiday season here in the retail biz.
Sure.
Uh, Run specialty only colorway.
Oh, nice. Okay.
Yes. So we have a Run specialty exclusive Dragonfly 2.
Ooh, nice.
Nice fade from purple to peach.
I like that.
Kind of iced
Ooh,
out, big
very
swoop.
cool. Kids will
Yeah.
love
So I don't know what your local moving shoes in Madison maybe.
that. Yep. And maybe Fleet Feet too.
Oh yeah, Fleet Feet Sports.
Yep.
Yeah, so head to your local running store for an exclusive colorway of the Dragonfly, as well as this one's my favorite, the Max Fly 2,
Wow. I like that.
teal and blue. You got a pink plate. Obviously all the performance features of the shoes remain the same, but we have Run specialty exclusive colorways.
I
Pretty
like
sick.
that. That's very cool. We'll put up a store locator.
Yeah, totally.
I know.
And then so that will, like I said, that's the holiday season.
Yeah.
And then come January 1st, we enter into 2026, and we will be debuting a small, what we call pack,
Okay.
special edition colorways.
Ooh.
We call this the Glam Gods, and we pumped it full of all sorts of glitter and gear.
Yeah.
Uh, yep, we are celebrating the lovely ladies of the 100 meters.
Cool.
Uh, one of my favorite athletes, TT Terry, which try to
Yes.
capture TT's essence into a shoe. So these are
Oh, that's fun.
every little skin and feature is pumped full of glitter.
Yep.
So like on the tongue top, you've got a glitter finish. The swoosh has glitter built into it. The back tab has a reflective glitter, so when you're dusting your competition, they can see you're really, really glittery. And then of course the plate, like I said, for a long time we just did chrome painted on, and this is more encrusted with glitter. And every spike in the pack comes with an ankle bracelet that
Wow.
has a swoosh on it,
That's
and then
cool.
a charm, a little swoosh charm.
That's very neat. You can wear that to the disco too, you know?
And the spike bags
Oh
have
my
stars,
gosh.
and they
People
come with
love
gold.
that. That will go well, Pat.
Here's the long jump version.
Oh,
We want kind of like a little bit understated on the branding, but then crank up all the other features so that it's like a um, very interesting look.
I like that. That's a great color. I think that'll go over well.
Yeah, so it's gonna come in the it'll come in the Dragonfly, Victory, Maxfly, and LJ Elite. Kind
Okay.
of cover some of the the track athletes as well as some field athletes, and then our core version of all of our spikes is called the Rival Series.
Okay.
Rival Sprint, a Rival Multi, a Rival Distance, and a Rival Jump. They're
Okay.
all going to be included in that pack.
And we'll have the tech sheets all up for our readers too.
Yeah, Natalie makes the tech sheets, and they're great.
Thanks, Natalie. Okay, now the final thing. You have
Yes.
one cross-country shoe. Talk to me about that.
Oh, we have one cross country shoe. Here it is in the NXT
Wow.
commemorative colorway from
Oh,
last year that Jane Hendegren wore and kicked everybody's butt in.
ooh. I've got an interview with her coming up, so I'm pretty excited. So,
Yeah. So this is the dragonfly. It's the third type of dragonfly that you could
okay.
get. This is the
Okay.
Dragonfly XC.
Uh-huh.
And a lot of the features are the same as the track dragonfly. You've got a full length plastic plate that's
Okay.
durable and provides propulsion. It's orange, and you can see it runs the full length of the shoe
Like
here.
that. Yeah.
Once you get to the forefoot, we don't have any exposed plastic like we do in track shoes. We have a clear rubber coating with lugs on it for traction.
Okay.
So in the classic cross-country sense, this is a rubber outsole. So you can run across the bike pads and across the cart pads on cross-country courses. So under the foot, you got a lot of the same tech as the Dragonfly plus some durability features. And then on the upper, the story is the same. We have a couple of skins that are added to the forefoot of the shoe for durability. That's just like a tougher material than mesh. And
Sure.
then the rear of the shoe, we stole a material from Trail.
Okay.
It's called neck skin. It's almost like a rain jacket, uh,
Nice.
but it keeps debris and moisture and things out of the shoe. And we did close up the Matumbo hole for the same reason to try to keep crap out of getting into the shoe.
Yeah, I
Uh,
like the X on the back too, though.
yeah, it's like a Band-Aid for the
Yeah.
Matumbo hole. Yeah.
Very cool. You know, I'm not
Uh-huh.
going to get that Matumbo hole story out of my head, just so you
Good.
know. So I'm going to use it on Coffee with Larry in a little bit as well, because Patrick, got to show some respect, man.
Yeah, totally.
Well, you two have survived an hour and 13 minutes with me.
Dude.
You may need some caffeine,
Yeah.
or medication. I'm not sure which, but thank you both. Patrick, you had something in your hand. You going to show me one more thing?
Oh, I always have something. I got stuff all over the room. This is just one of those carbon plates. I was just
Okay.
fiddling with it. Yeah. Yeah.
Well, Patrick and Natalie, thank you so much. Thank you for being featured on For Shoe Geeks Only. I'm going to get it produced over the weekend. We're going to have it up before Tokyo, and I'll be telling the world about it. So
Nice. We'll see you in Tokyo, Larry.
see you in Tokyo. I'll have some questions for you there too, and maybe we'll do a 1-minute video, and I'll
Oh,
give you a little bit of trouble because Patrick, if I can't give you some trouble, I don't feel like my day's been complete.
sounds good, man. Let's
All
do
right,
it.
this
Get
Larry
into
Eater for Shoe Geeks Only. We are with Patrick Richie and with oh my God, um, Natalie Kile. Did I get it right? Did I pronounce it
Yep.
right, Natalie? I'm sorry. I'm
Oh,
always
you're
bad.
good.
I'm always bad with the last names. And thank you for setting up all the shoes. My readers are going to love this.
No
Yeah.
problem. Thanks, Larry.
Thanks, you guys. Take care.